Marketing when your budget is zero or almost zero. How do you can do high impact, low cost strategies? No budget, no problem. We'll show you today some ways to attract clients, be creative, stay consistent, make connections without breaking your bank. So I'm excited. Stay tuned. Welcome to season 7 of Referral Roadmap, business growth in an age of AI and uncertainty. This season, we're cutting through the noise and getting real about what actually moves the needle for small businesses in 2026. From AI tools that save you time, to winning in the zero-click search era, to building teams and systems, resilience, and a referral engine that still wins even in a digital age. We're giving you strategies you'll need to grow with confidence no matter what the economy throws your way. Let's dive in. You're not going to want to miss this one. And again, we have to say thank you so much for being here. Our heart is for this to be helpful to you for your business, and we would love it if you would share it with your friends too, so we can help their businesses as well. So I wanted to say for all you listening, thank you. If you're on the treadmill, driving your car, whatever it is, thank you for being here. I do hope you save it though, so you can write down rubber meets the road. Hey, Jada, do me a favor, and will you kind of go into a description a little bit more for our audience of what it means, what a shoestring budget or low budget for marketing looks like, and how we're going to kind of unpack it today.
Yes. So something that I heard recently, I'd never heard this term before, but I think it's rather common. So maybe I was just living under a rock, but it's called marketing on a shoestring. And what that term really means is that growing your business with little to no budget by relying on creativity, consistency, and resourcefulness instead of big ad spends. For many small business owners, this isn't just a season, it's the reality of the business. So
Mhm.
the good news is that in 2026, you don't need a massive budget to market effectively. The tools and platforms available today make it possible for you to reach your audience, build trust, and generate that business using strategies that cost a little more of your time and your effort, but less dollars. So, shoestring marketing really focuses on one, leveraging social media to create that authentic, shareable content that keeps you visible without paid ads, engaging with your community through events, collaborations, and local presence that positions you as the go to choice nearby. Partnerships with other businesses to share audiences, swap value, and amplify your reach without the extra spend. And consistency over flashiness. So, showing up regularly with value that matters more than having the flashiest campaign. At its core, shoestring marketing is about trading dollars for discipline. If you're willing to be intentional and consistent, you can create a massive impact with minimal dollar spend.
Mm. That's good because when you first start, you don't have huge budgets.
Hmm. Yep.
And I want to share a story, and you guys know I'm pretty transparent. Maybe to default, people are sick of hearing about my stories, but I will just tell you. So years ago, almost 15 years ago, I guess now, when I started working at the home building business, we didn't have a lot of money for the marketing budget, and we had changed our entire marketing strategy. And I was used to working for big corporations with huge marketing budgets. I mean, huge, right? And the teams that I had before I came to the home building, I had an entire marketing division of companies that answered to me. Um, and I had big marketing budgets. So I was like, okay, what we're changing our marketing strategy. We're changing our target market. We're changing basically how we go to business. And I have no marketing budget. Ah, what do you do? Right? What do you do? Well, I'm gonna tell you, um, one of the things I didn't do is I didn't start at social media.
Hmm.
That's not where I started. Now, I think it's essential and important now, 15 years later, I think it's even more important, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you're starting a business or you wanna scale business, social media is a good place for credibility and exposure. Not a great place for gathering leads unless you can afford to pay for them. They
Hmm.
have made it very complicated now for you to just post and get leads. Now, about 8 years ago, you could do that. Not anymore. Not so much unless you're, Coca-Cola or, somebody like that. You have to be a huge influencer or brand for that. But social media is critical for credibility. And I'll tell you why I'm saying this. For example, one of the strategies when I had a shoestring budget with the home building, I went out and built relationships. I still think this is the most important thing. Um, Jada doesn't know this, but for our consulting business, I'm doing a clarity break uh, later this week. And a clarity break, by the way, what that is where you just block off your calendar and you give yourself a concept and you tell yourself just explore that concept without rules or regulations. Just say, this is a problem, and I want to just clear my head and kind of talk through that. Anyway, I'm going to do a clarity break for our consulting business. And as I've been thinking about it, I've been thinking a lot about, Athena, how did you build this other one? And what strategies are you not implementing? And one of them is being out in the community, Jada, in all of these particular areas, doing what I once did.
Mm.
So, by the way, again, this is Athena, pot talking kettle, and telling myself what works in one business and what you teach other people to do, you need to double down in one of your businesses. So again, I always like to be honest, that it's always a work in progress, right? So anyway, I say that because didn't take a lot of money for me to go out and engage where my target market was. It didn't take a lot of money for me to go out and start building relationships. It took a lot of guts. It took fortitude. I got people hung up on me. People didn't want to talk to me at the beginning. It took bravery. It took that. But it worked. So if you have a business or service, I would ask yourself, what are you doing to go out and build relationships? Relationships with your target market, with relationships with people who touch your target market, and people who like serve your target market. Identifying your referral partners. What are you doing to get out and have relationship with them? So I want you to think about that. Yes, it takes time, but it doesn't require a lot of money. Sometimes, I couldn't afford lunches all the time, so I did coffee. Coffee was affordable. So you want to think about how can I um, go build relationships? This is really critical. And sustainable. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you really want to do something amazing for your business, go build relationships. Okay. So part, and here's the other thing. The other thing I did way back then is I did build I had a CRM so that I put the information in it so that I could remember to consistently stay talking to people. Now, I didn't have a Jada back then, so my marketing emails sucked. But I actually had to email people, and anyway, they weren't great, but I did it, and I still had to consistently stay in contact and nurture these people. So you want to think about, okay, how can I do that? How can I follow up, build relationships, and then what else can I do? This is where I think you make videos. Start publishing videos on YouTube. Start putting videos on social media so that when you're in those networking events, think about this. Somebody's going to maybe be impressed by you, I hope. And then I hope they go look at your social media presence. I hope they go look at your website. That's what you want. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are doing videos and answering the questions that the people who want to check you out want to know. That's easy. Video, you can do it. Very inexpensive and answer the questions they want. You guys all know Tim and I, my business partner, we read a book called They Ask You Answer. I think there's now a version 2.0. It's basically like another author, which is story branding, which is telling stories, but also answering the questions your people want to know. Create some videos just answering the questions that people who need your service want to know. Be the expert, but don't be braggadocious. Just be the expert. That's another thing that you can do that doesn't cost a lot of money. You can emails. You can create good emails. AI really helps you create good emails. Emails are not extremely expensive, but they can be impactful. I wish I had AI 15 years ago. I mean, now I have Jada and AI, and we're still dancing it. But, at least creating these email campaigns and nurturing these relationships and staying in contact is very affordable, very affordable. The other thing is engage your community. Okay, get involved in your community. I saw, and I didn't write his name, and I should have, Jada. Um, my husband and I feel like we live under a rock, and everybody keeps telling me what a food scene it is in Oklahoma City. Like it's a foodie town. Like people now fly here just for the food scene, which it's funny to me. But um, anywho, I looked up on YouTube restaurants for Oklahoma City, and you know what it was?
Hmm,
A real estate agent has a whole show about all these things to do in Oklahoma City,
interesting.
right? And he literally does a really good professional, like, I watched a whole video and I wrote down the restaurants he told me to go to. But
Hmm,
he was marketing himself as an agent. So there's stuff like that. I'm sure that video didn't cost him a lot of money, but I was very impressed. And I thought, now there you go. There you go. Right. I was like, that is smart. I need to follow up with him and see if it actually is generating revenue because I was impressed and the content was good. So that's where you know your community, get involved in your community. You can work with nonprofits, get connected. People then can share your information. They can become your referral partners. The other thing is you can also look at doing free workshops. Jada, you know, this is something I did when we didn't have a big marketing budget. I learned what's something I can teach people to help people, and I did it for free. So this is another thing you can go out there and you can teach. There's something that you're smart at, that your people that you want to work with know. So this is another thing that you can do. You can do free workshops. The whole thing is you got to get out there. Okay.
mhm.
You can't sit behind, and Jada, I'm talking to myself right now. You can't sit behind a computer all day doing projects all day when you should be out in the community, meeting people, shaking hands, getting people to know you, knowing about your service, knowing about your heart, and figuring out ways you can add value to your community, which is your target market, the people you want to serve in your business, and go get where they're at. You hear me? Now you know why I'm doing my clarity break. Um, but I've got to get. I personally need to get organized to be able to go do what I just said, you guys, for this my consulting business at a bigger level. So these are some ways that I did it. I've watched other people do it. They don't cost a lot of money, but they make a big impact. The only thing I will say in regards to all of that is please be authentic. Go be yourself out there. Okay. If you do all of that and you engage in nonprofit work or in your community and you do webinars and all the things I just told you, if you have commission breath or it's not authentic, it won't work. Okay. You've got to have a heart for it. So those are the things that I want you to know that you can go do. And Jada, I know you're going to actually do a little bit um, in the science, but
Yes.
I do want to say, you guys, where I didn't have social media way back in the day, you need to have it because people are looking at it. Oh, that's the one thing I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
What I wanted to tell you guys this. I was talking to a client of mine, and we were talking about how she needed to improve her LinkedIn
Mm,
because she found out that she wasn't focusing on her LinkedIn account. And a number of people she followed up with, and they said, well, I went to your LinkedIn and it wasn't credible, so I didn't want to hire you.
interesting.
So she built the relationship, they liked her, but they went
Yeah.
to fact check her on LinkedIn. I
Hmm.
just had this conversation in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
So
That'll kinda go along with some of my science today, so thanks
so
for
I
teeing
just
me
want to
up.
tell you guys, don't think you're going to get rich off social media, but you
Oh,
will have it will you got to go do the work and then it adds credibility and then it comes back to you. I wanted
mhm.
to share that because it really hit me. I was like, oh, mm.
I'm just even thinking too, there's some, place that I was going to, like a pottery painting place for my
Yeah,
birthday not too long ago. And I was looking on their Instagram to see what kind of options they had. And had they not had an updated Instagram and had pictures from
right.
2024, I probably would not have showed up.
Isn't that interesting?
So,
I
yeah.
mean, we really do. You want to think about that. I
Yeah.
mean, so anyway, so give us some facts and figures, and then I'll give you guys some rubber meets the roads.
Definitely. So the first set of research today comes from a study done. I'm gonna butcher this probably, but it's Kefomatic Marketing and
Wow,
Design. I hope I
that's
pronounced
a
that right.
name.
I know. But their science says that organic reach on social media is shrinking rapidly. So, for example, one thing that they said was Facebook's average organic reach in 2024 was down about 1.37%. And then, really, what that means is that free content reaches only a sliver of your own followers unless it sparks engagement or you boost it. So, that consistency and high value are going to be more critical than ever if you don't have the ad spend to be posting or to be publishing and promoting
Yeah.
your posts. And then the second one is a majority of small businesses use social media and see it as a central strategy. So 90% of small or local businesses use social media for marketing. 78% of shoppers are looking at social media before making a purchase. It's a lot of shoppers that
And
are
well,
looking.
we just both said it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hmm.
that I'm like, okay,
Yep.
that's why it's so important, even though we don't capture leads with it for free, really.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. And then 96% of small businesses report using social media as part of their marketing mix. So I think those stats really show that even when budgets are tight, social media does remain a key touch point and opportunity, even if you aren't converting the leads necessarily through social media. If that's not where you're seeing the conversion, it is still a billboard for your business, if you will.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that.
Um, and then the last one, it talks about how co-promotion or partnership campaigns can produce an elevated ROI. So, in a 2019 study, researchers found that co-promotion campaigns can drive ROI growth by 30% through shared resources and crossed audiences. Industry data also suggests partnerships often contribute 15 to 25% of a company's total revenue in collaboration models. So I think that shows that smart partnerships in places where your audience already exists can extend reach without a big ad spend.
Yeah.
An example of that right now, it was a study or a update on Instagram in 2025 where you can collaborate with people that you're tagging in a post rather than just tagging them. So that if they accept the collaboration, it posts to their audience as well as if they posted the post. So that's just something, if you're collaborating with someone in the community or you are at an event in the community and you want to tag maybe the sponsor or the host of the event, if they accept that collaboration on Instagram, it's going to post on their profile as if they had posted it. So therefore, everyone on
Wow.
their social media platforms also going to see it. So that's just one way to collaborate now in the new digital age on at least Instagram.
Interesting. I'm
Mhm.
assuming that you and your team are taking advantage of that.
We are specifically for podcast guests. Yes.
I'm like, okay, wow, all right. This is
Yes.
why you guys I have to have experts like Jada, so, that's
Well, I have smarter people than I on my team for social media specifically.
we all need people smarter than us on the team. That is
Yep.
fundamental leadership right there. Never be the smartest person. Hire the person smarter than you, right?
Yep.
For sure.
Can't be an expert
Um,
at everything.
no, goodness, no. And actually, Athena will tell you, when you try to do things outside of your wheelhouse, you just create drama for the rest of the people.
Or you
Honey.
just don't do them.
Yeah, or you just don't do them, and then you create drama for everybody else. Don't do it. I'm gonna say it again. The book, Who
Who,
Not
not how.
How, read it. It tells you delegate. If you're procrastinating, it means either you shouldn't be doing it or you need to get your act together.
I'm gonna
But
throw a link to that book in the show notes.
okay, it's a good book if you execute it. I've been told I need to read it again. So I will be doing that. Just so you guys know. So everyone, you can laugh at me. Athena makes mistakes and gets called out often. It's good for me. All right, you guys. So some rubber meets the road. What can we do in marketing and that doesn't break the bank? Number one, and I'm gonna say this. I would love for you to be on multiple streams on social media, but before you do that, pick one and really dominate on it and pick the one that your people are going to be on. So if your business or service, your people are more apt to be on LinkedIn, like that person that I was talking about, then make sure LinkedIn looks great. If your people are on Facebook mainly, make sure Facebook is right on point. So start with one, dominate it, get good at it, and then expand. Okay. And I say that because on a shoestring budget, you may not have the team that can create all the different posts, right? So you want to figure out how to streamline it and really work the one that will give you the best results first. Number two, and Jade and I have learned a lot about this recently with an expert that we have hired, but creating FAQ posts.
Mhm.
Okay, this is critical. We are learning right now for Google Analytics how critical this is currently. And we've always been fairly okay at it, but now we need to get real good at this. And so write down top 5 questions clients are asking, answer each one in a short video, a simple post, carousel. Make sure that you're putting it on your Google business page, answering the questions, etc. Please get out there and answer their questions. This is critical right now. Um, there is buying cycle, and sales process. I'm going to keep talking about this as we need to write a whole ebook on this, Jada. The buying cycle is the psychology of your buyer. So it's what triggers do they need in order to purchase? And that's the sales funnel, okay? The sales cycle is your internal cycle. So how long somebody stays within your sales process based on your product. And then the sales process is your actual sales process. This is really critical because people get this wrong. And I will just give you an example of this real quick. The buying cycle for our clients starts way up here. And the sales cycle is how long we have to touch base with them. And then the process is all the manual stuff we do. So if you want to know more about that, I'm sure if you are interested in me going deep in that, you please send us a note. You can either have a one-on-one with me and or my team and I will create a webinar so that we can go deep into that. But create some FAQs, you guys. Get out there and make that happen. Number 3, leverage partnerships. Jada just told us the stats, right? Get out there. I like personally, my favorite partnerships are referral partnerships, but you can have like companies that share your information where you can promote each other in newsletters. You can promote each other on social media posts or bundle like working together, you save more money. So think through that. Who out there can help you and who can you help? Number 4, show up for your community, right? Get out there, teach free workshops, sponsor something small, get out there where your people are, and so that people trust you and they can start spreading the word about you and people know about you. Number 5, Jada loves this one. She reminds me it often. Repurpose what you already have, right? Um, I'm just throwing myself
I'm
way under the bus today.
I'm like, you're really not doing yourself justice today.
It's okay. I just want people to know that I am extremely successful and I make a lot of mistakes. And I'm constantly learning. So you need to be too, right? If
Yeah.
we're not
Well,
learning and we don't have smart people around us, we're not going to grow. So,
and
oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say on this topic, if you have a shoestring budget, you may not have all the marketing budget to create a bunch of new tools and, you know, new things on your website. But what you can do is repurpose what you already have, or edit it. And that's something that Athena and I were just talking about this morning before we started filming. Is we have a project that we're working on that we need some additional resources to be refurbished, if you will,
Yep.
and then we will reuse them.
Yep. We need to refurbish. And you
Yes.
want to look at that, right? And I'll just say this. Um, we have learned also because we're privileged. Jada introduced us to a very competent young man with SEO. And we learned because of algorithm changes how much we need to repurpose and clean up our over 300 blogs in one of our companies. And I know that the other we will have to do the same thing within the other company. And I think we actually are already starting to do that. So just so you know, you don't have to recreate it, but you may need to repurpose it, freshen it up, and make it relevant for today. Number 6, ask user-generated content. So get people to tell tell about how much they loved your product, etcetera, post testimonials, get people to do videos if you can. That's a fun way to make an impact, you guys. It doesn't cost a lot of money. I really hope these help you. But the number one thing that you have to do, right, is stay consistent. If you wanna destroy your credibility, don't be consistent. It doesn't have to be perfect. My friend Kyle Draper, who's been on our podcast before, will tell you people won't remember if you made a mistake or a bad post, but they will remember if you don't do it consistently. Okay.
Mhm.
So put it on your calendar, systematize it, get it out there, be consistent about it. That really adds credibility to you. And that is great marketing. I remember when I didn't have a lot of money in marketing and I did all the things that I described to you, but really, my follow-up, people and now Jada gets this, but my follow-up, people would be like, "No one follows up like you do." Right? I mean, I followed up like a crazy person, because I was desperate. I needed it 'cause, I needed some money. Now Jada has taken that over and she is now the follow-up queen. But it's that consistency and that follow-up that adds that credibility so that people actually use you. That doesn't cost you a lot of money other than time. So think about that. So again, just in closing to encourage you guys, you don't need a huge budget. You need to stay creative, consistent, and you need to go build relationships. Show up, share your value, lean into community, lean into relationships, lean into other humans, and go have fun with this. Okay? Go have fun with it and understand you're going to screw up. You're going to make mistakes. Don't worry about it. Just learn from it. If I haven't done myself under the bus enough this episode, just know you will make mistakes too. It's okay. It just means you're growing. Jada, where do we go from now? So Athena can stop being mean to herself.
So you can stop throwing yourself on.
I know.
Hey, I know I appreciate your authenticity as someone who gets to experience your leadership. So I'm sure everyone listening to this podcast also just, loves feeling that they really truly are not alone and we are walking this journey with them.
Yeah.
And that the things that we're suggesting are things that we are actively learning and not just regurgitating from a book that we read. So if this episode was applicable to you, though, or your business, please subscribe, share it with someone else who needs it, and leave us a review. That is how other people are going to find us on whatever streaming platform you're listening to. So please do that. And don't forget, Athena's book is coming out soon. So get some early access discounts and exclusive extras by joining the list in the show notes. And then I will also make sure that there is a link to download the season 7 resource guide in those show notes. So thank you again for being here, and we will see you next week.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.